Well, coronavirus cases are still high right now. In Missouri, the state's 7-day rolling average of new cases is at nearly 4,000. We're going to get an update from Kansas later on today. And in Missouri, 19.4% of coronavirus tests are coming back positive. In Kansas, the positivity rate is at 17.1%. And in KCK, doctors at the University of Kansas Health System are treating 156 people for the virus. That's up from Monday. 52 of those people are in the ICU and 25 are on ventilators. Well, doctors say there are more admissions than discharges. They believe that Thanksgiving travel and gatherings are responsible for the rise. And the pandemic's surge in rural parts of Missouri and Kansas is hitting small hospitals especially hard. In Warrensburg, Missouri, the Western Missouri Medical Center, the only hospital in the county, is running out of room. While staffing is the main struggle right now, there are concerns about the financial impact this surge will have since the hospitals had to delay elective inpatient surgeries again.
We only try to get a 2% margin. We haven't met that in several years, so we have a very, very close margin. So for us to lose, $10 million it's a big deal.
Well, the doctors at Western Missouri Medical Center are pleading with people in their community and surrounding communities to wear a mask, take this seriously, wash your hands, and keep your distance from others. And starting tomorrow, a limited number of fans will be allowed in to watch Kansas high school winter sports. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine live with this story now. Martin, this reverses a decision that was made just 2 weeks ago. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Rob. That's right. That decision was designed to keep a lid on the spread of COVID-19. But moving forward now, if there's some sort of event, say here at Shawnee Mission North High School, basketball game, wrestling match, something like that, well, a limited number of spectators will be permitted to attend. Now, the Kansas State High School Activities Association approved this measure to let up to 2 parents or guardians of each participant watch the events. It was just November 24th when the same group voted to prohibit spectators at interscholastic events, a decision made amid the worries of COVID cases spiking in Kansas. Now, this decision is effective tomorrow, December 10th, through January 28th. This latest vote by the Kansas State High School Activities Association Board of Directors, we should point out, was approved by a wide margin. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
All right, thanks so much, Martin. It's 8:05, and Platte County, Missouri has new quarantine guidelines. Health officials say that people who have been exposed to the virus can end their quarantine after 10 days if they have no symptoms. Well, they still need to wear a mask and monitor symptoms for 14 full days. Platte County is not adopting the CDC's new guidelines about ending quarantine after 7 days with a negative test. Well, health officials say there are too many cases out there and the testing system is strained. Well, meanwhile, federal coronavirus relief talks are back on hold this morning. Congressional lawmakers are weighing what should be included while the White House presents a proposal of its own. Matt Pritchard is watching all of this from Washington.
The Trump administration wants a $916 billion package, which would include individual payments to Americans, but take away boosts to unemployment benefits.
We can't leave without doing a COVID bill.
It's an emergency. Emergency means you need to do something now.
We're hearing calls for action on Capitol Hill, but the results show slow progress.
This is not hard, but basically if you put politics involved with egos on top of that, it makes it extremely difficult.
A $908 billion bipartisan relief bill presented a slim window for compromise. It includes $300 in weekly unemployment benefits, it provides $160 billion for states and local governments, protects Americans from eviction, and revitalizes the Paycheck Protection Program. On Tuesday, though, the White House stepped in with a plan of their own.
Thank you very much.
That proposal would be $916 billion and would include $600 payments to individual Americans and $1,200 for couples, but eliminate the $300 a week unemployment benefit. Now, Democrats argue,
don't you think the person that has nothing and their job's not there for them, and we made them close down their businesses, need a little bit more help during an emergency?
But Republicans say the key to a final deal is simple.
It remains my view that we ought to pass what we can agree on, and I think that's a pretty broad area.
Now, Congress also needs to finalize a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. The House will vote today on a week-long extension to allow talks to continue on both efforts. In Washington, I'm Matt Pritchard reporting.
And congressional leaders want to roll added relief in government spending into one large bill before leaving for the holidays. Well, meanwhile, we know that new this morning, health experts in the United Kingdom are recommending that people with a history of severe allergic reactions do not take Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. The UK started giving out doses yesterday, and officials say 2 people with a history of those sorts of issues have had bad reactions. They are both recovering. And a vaccinologist from the Mayo Clinic sat down with doctors at the University of Kansas Health System to address concerns about vaccine safety. Since the vaccine is being developed in record time, he says some people are concerned that there will be unknown side effects in the long term.
We do not see vaccine side effects occurring after about 6 weeks after receiving the vaccine. So vaccine side effects tend to occur within minutes to days.
Dr. Poland says the one exception is Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a type of paralysis associated with the flu vaccine. There is a 1 in a million chance of that happening up to 6 weeks following the flu shot. The CDC has required vaccine trial participants to be watched for 2 months after their vaccinations. And a St. Louis professor who studied the Pfizer vaccine's development says there could be vaccine shortages. One reason is cold storage. Pfizer's vaccine has to be stored at 94 degrees below zero. Well, right now, there just aren't many places that can do that.
That's an infrastructure problem. We just don't have it in place. It's not unexpected. And this is something people have been predicting for a really long time. So there's going to be vaccine scarcity.
She says the issues will lessen as more vaccines are created and others that pose less of a storage problem hit the market. Well, for the latest developments on federal aid, vaccinations, and infection rates, you're invited to click on the coronavirus tab on our website, KMBC.com, or download our KMBC 9 mobile app.